Welcome back to Storytime with Lynn. Today I'll be reading Help Your Dragon Cope with Trauma, written by Steve Herman. Hello there, friends. It's us again, Drew and Diggory Doo, a kid and his pet dragon with a story just for you. We've told you lots of stories, featuring Diggory as the star. They usually teach a lesson. Have you liked them all so far? Once Diggory acted out in school. That was not like him at all. His teacher wondered why, so she gave our dad a call. We had a talk with Diggory Doo. It wasn't very long, till he began to cry and told us what was wrong. He said, "I saw something really awful that I wish I hadn't seen. That's why I'm misbehaving and I've been acting mean." Diggory would lie awake at night with that bad memory in his head and couldn't rest or have sweet dreams. Nightmares came instead. Since Diggory wasn't resting well, it only made things worse. He often cried big dragon tears and said, "My tummy hurts." "Diggory Doo," I told him, "you cannot go on this way. Staying up all night, then feeling sick and tired all day? Something must be done," I said, "for it is plain to see. You're trapped by that bad memory, and that's no way to be." Diggory even tried to fly away. It seemed the thing to do. But everywhere that Diggory went, his memory went there too. I told my dragon, Diggory Doo, "I think that you will find that you can't simply run away from thoughts inside your mind." But Diggory Doo could not forget what happened in his past, and he didn't want to talk about it, even though I asked. "Diggory Doo," I told him, "I can see that you are sad. Perhaps I have some good advice, so you won't feel so bad." When a traumatic event happens and your heart can't seem to heal, it means you've suffered trauma and can't help the way you feel. Diggory Doo began to listen. He said, "Tell me what to do to make my heart feel glad again before it breaks in two." "When it comes to trauma," I said, "you will not forget that the bad thing ever happened. It hurts, I know. And yet, there are things that you can do. Let's see if we can find a method that will work for you to ease your troubled mind." For instance, music has been known to soothe the anxious soul. Instead of crying, you could dance, so play some rock and roll. Or maybe you would much prefer a tune that's soft and low, that calms your heart and brings you peace, and makes your bad thoughts go. You might find it helpful when you have a troubled heart. Paint or draw your feelings, and find your cure in art. Then when the picture's finished, you can show it to a friend who will gladly share your burden and will help your heart to mend. It also helps to take deep breaths and slowly count to 10. That will help to slow your heart when fearful thoughts creep in. Remember that we love you and we're here to help you bear the hurt that you are feeling if you open up and share. I gave Diggory Doo a hug and said, "It's going to be okay. You can't keep feeling sad and scared just because of one bad day." Then Diggory dried his dragon tears and blew his dragon snout and said he'd take my advice and try my methods out. The music made him happy and my dragon felt like new when he had the chance to talk about some pictures that he drew. He took deep breaths and thought good thoughts before he went to bed. And then instead of nightmares, he could sleep in peace instead. Now when bad thoughts come along, he knows just what to do to calm his pounding heart and to help him make it through. He's also learned that on those days when he can't seem to bear it, instead of hiding it deep inside, he would find a friend and share it. Now Diggory Doo is happier and goes outside to play. And though he never will forget that one most awful day, He also knows that life goes on, and most of it is good, and that is what he thinks about, as kids and dragons should. If you have experiences similar to Diggory do, where an event and the memories of that event causes you to have nightmares, unable to sleep, anxiety, please talk to a friend or a trusted adult. Thank you so much for joining me today on Storytime with Lynn, reading Help Your Dragon Cope with Trauma, written by Steve Herman.